Hey, happy Wednesday, everyone. Hope you are doing well. It's the middle of the week. It is a beautiful morning here in San Diego. It's about 7 o'clock in the morning right now. I'm having my coffee and meditating a little bit. Uh, and I want to share something with you that I've been meditating on. And this is in the raw, unscripted, unpracticed, unedited conversation. And as you may know, we've been talking about the sayings of Jesus, the things that he said while he was here on earth. And I was reading in Matthew and chapter 7. And Jesus is giving a series of lessons or series of um, words of advice, if you will, to his disciples. And chapter 7 starts with something that's very important and very relevant to today's standards. And he says that very simple words to the point. Do not judge, or you will be judged. That's it. He goes on and explains what he means by that, but just that by itself, do not judge or you will be judged. This is a classic example of the if-then statement, or cause and effect as we know it, right? If you do this, this will happen, right? So, that's a law of in scientific law, when cause and effect law, but it's also a literary how should we call it? It's not a strategy. It's a literary. The word slips my mind. Like a rule, like a literary rule. Cause and effect. Do not judge, or you too will be judged. We live in a society and in a world where judging is something that's become so normal, so day to day, everyday practice. We say we don't judge, but we do. When we say something about somebody we don't agree with, and you can see it so much in the political realm. This party is in power right now, or this person is in the White House, or that person was in the White House before, and we get it from different angles. People judging, people saying, people, and that, we all do it. So it's not, it's not something that that is not existent. We're all guilty of it. But the problem is when we let that judgment convert into hate, and I see that a lot. I see a lot of hate. A lot of people, just saying hateful things about others, and reacting towards others in a hateful, demeaning, derogatory manner. And that is what Jesus is talking about here. He goes on and says, "Why look at the speck in someone's of sawdust in someone's eye, and you don't pay attention to the plank in your own eye?" So he's saying, you're looking for the little things in somebody, and you don't stop and look at yourself and see how big of a issue you have in your own life. And then he says, how can you say to your brother, let me take that speck out of your eye, when all the time there's a plank in your own eye? And then he calls he uses a very harsh word here to describe this. He says, you hypocrite. First, you should take the plank out of your own eye, and then you will see clearly to remove the speck from your brother's eye. Right? And then he continues with the harshness. Do not give dogs what is sacred. Do not throw your pearls to pigs. If you do, they may be trampled. They may be trampled under their feet and and tear you to pieces, and they will tear you to pieces. So what he's saying is that when you judge, you are exposing yourself to be trampled, you're exposing yourself to be judged yourself, in other words. And he uses the analogy of dogs and pigs, right? You're exposing yourself to being treated as such, and then and they will tear you to pieces. So it's better not to judge others without first looking at ourselves, you know. And by the way, the Bible does not condemn judging. I hear people say you shouldn't judge, but the Bible doesn't condemn judging. But as Jesus said at one point, if you're free of sin, you can throw the first stone. And most often than not, we are not able to judge because we have issues of our own. If we don't have any issues, if we've resolved the issue, then we can say something that will construct the other person. That part of judgment is good, when you construct somebody, when you build somebody up. But when you say something to somebody and then you have your own issues, then it's a very different story. Anyways, I hope you have an amazing day, amazing rest of your week. We will talk to you soon.